Hi guys, Appa here. Today we'll be playing more Pretty Dreadful, and this is a sweet deck that I always like to play mostly in Arena because it's very cheap, and that deck is Cycling. I think it's called Aggro Slide in PrettyDreadfulMagic.com if you look for it. So let me run through the deck very quickly. We have some lands here. Clifftop Retreat is a great piece of fixing. Then we have 4 and 4 of each cycling land, which makes it so we have way less probability of being flooded, and we have this ability of cycling these cards. Then we have some payoffs with cycling in Flourishing Fox and Valiant Rescuer. Both are very useful. In some matchups, you don't want to have any of those in play, but in most of them, it's a very great way of winning. Just playing a turn 1 Flourishing Fox and then cycling, and hitting them for 20 late in turn 4 or something. Then we have the two non-land creatures, non-land cards in our deck that don't have cycling, which are Lightning Rift. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may pay 1. If you do, it shocks something. So this is a great way of winning the game. Just landing this, your opponent doesn't have an answer. You're going to eventually just grind them down, either by blowing up all their creatures or by killing them. It uses some mana, but paying 1 mana extra is not that big a deal when most of your cycling cards cost 1, so it's basically 2 for a shock that cycles. That's a pretty good rate. And then we have Zenith Flare, which is a 4-mana instant that just domes the opponent for the number of cycling cards in your graveyard. This is very useful. Normally, well, in this season there are a lot of graveyard hate, so this might be a bit of a disadvantage in comparison with the other seasons, but still it's a pretty strong card that is your main win condition most of the time, because you just cycle blindly until you find this and then dome them for 10 and 10. It being an instant is pretty good against control decks, because they can't tap out ever, even at your end step, because you dome them for lethal. So it puts so much pressure just by its mere existence. Then we have the 1-mana cyclers that we don't really care about what they do, which are Go for Blood, which is useful. You can sometimes cast it, but it's more than anything because it's a cycling one. We have Dranis Heater. Again, you will cast this, for example, against aggro, because it's a 2/2 that can trade with something, maybe gain some amount of life. But more, the plain A of this deck is to cycle this card. You don't really care about gaining life here. And Football Creator, which has some applications. You can give, for example, Trample to one of your Flourishing Foxes, which is pretty useful. But again, the plan A is to cycle it. And then we have the utility cyclers, if you will. That is Stinger. You will cast this more than the healer, because the Stinger hits the opponent and we are an aggressive deck. We try to kill them as fast as possible sometimes. So this is a card that puts a lot of pressure. It's a fine 2-drop. It can attack sometimes, and even if it sits there, hits them for a couple of damages and trades with a removal spell, then you're fine with that. And if it's a top deck, you can always cycle it. Then we have Spark Spray. It's a pretty useful card against like Birds of Paradise or other elves. And again, it has cycling, so it's kind of free to play. And then Akroma's Blessing. This is a card I found out by searching for cycling cards. I think this card is pretty strong. It's similar to Spark Spray in the sense that sometimes it's dead, but sometimes it's good. And it has cycling for white, so it's almost free to play. The white is we have very good fixing in this deck, so cycling for white is not that big a deal in comparison to cycling just for 1, but of course you would prefer to have cycling 1. But the ability to protect your creatures from a color can be very useful. For example, when you have a big Flourishing Fox, to basically give them evasion so you can kill the opponent, or protect from a removal spell, or a wrath like Sweltering Suns, protecting your board that you build with Valiant Rescuer, and so forth. So I think it's pretty useful. I wanted to try it out. Then in the sideboard we have Giganta, which is our companion. Because it's a freebie, we don't really care that much about it. But if you are top decking and we don't have anything to do, we can just pay basically 8 mana for a 5/5, which is still good. And then in the sideboard we have Nihil Spellbomb for Graveyard Hate. We can't really pay black in this deck, um, but we'll still need some way of looking the opponent's graveyards. And well, the builder of the deck, which is Sufarkai 2, which is the guy that plays more than anyone on this particular deck. If he thinks that this is the correct meta goal, I'm going to abide by him. Then we have Forsake the Worldly, which is a 3 mana instant exile target artifact or enchantment. It has cycling 2. This card is going to come in as a nice disenchant. The other card you could play is Light of Hope. I don't really like it, but I like this card. And then we have Sweltering Suns, which is another Wrath that can be cycled. Shred Sails, which can kill artifacts or flyers and also has cycling. And Dubbing Hand of Control, which is a great card because it doesn't really affect us that much. Oh, sorry, it's one. Okay, yeah, for sure. It's not going to affect us. It's more than anything against control, for example, or some storm decks, wherein this can be just very, very annoying for them to win through it. And it can protect us from a big hit or two if we are against something like maybe Reanimator. I don't think so, but maybe. And yeah, that's basically the deck. It's pretty straightforward. We want to play our things, cycle, use our whole mana every turn, and just do our thing. It's a bit one-dimensional in a sense, and it's also a bit linear, but I find it fun to pilot. There are some interesting decisions to be made. So yeah, this is the kind of aggro deck I like. We have a lot of value with Spark Sprays, Chroma's Blessing, Lightning Rift. We can play control or aggro depending on the matchup. We can settle our things, we can cast them. So there are a lot of different options, even though it feels at first glance it looks very linear. Just cycle and Seed Flare. That's the game plan A, but there are a lot of game plans B and C. So I think it's a pretty cool deck to pilot. So yeah, let's see if I can do well with it and see you in the games. Alrighty, match number 1 against Decaying. One important thing, I changed the Forsake the World for Light of Hope because I realized that I have 4 Shell Sails, so I prefer to have Destroy Tyrant Enchantment instead of just a 3 mana disenchant. And we are going to start with Giganta, and we are going to draw. This hand is fine. We have lands, we have spells. I think I'm going to keep. We could go a bit lower if we knew what we were playing against, but since we don't know. Okay, they reveal a forest. Whoops, nice. So this is when Spark Spray shines. We can just kill that with a mountain. Hit mountain, hit that. Spray the bird. Then we can Clifftop Retreat, maybe play the Stinger if they don't do anything. Otherwise we can just... Okay, what's this? Emara. Soul of the Chord. So we could play Lightning Rift and tap and start killing things. I think we do that. It's game 1. They might have like Casalit Primage, but that's mostly for the sideboard, I would guess. If we wanted to save the Lightning Rift until we can use it, then we need to reach 4 mana, which is a lot. So, oh, this is the cool Time of Need deck. I saw about it. I looked at the deck. It was a pretty good idea. This is a nice two-lure. You can search for any legendary creature. And they have like Emara and Reese the Redeemed and other, yeah, like Jisharn. Okay. So I think we cycle the Chroma's Blessing. And if we find a red source, we can Spark Spray, cast, kill the Paradise, the Birds of Paradise. No, okay, let's just play the land and pass. They can play the Yasharn, which gives them a lot of lands, so that's very useful for them. Yasharn is pretty good. I like this big, it's very big. We don't really pay life or sacrifice non-permanence, as far as I know. Hokori, oh, that's very bad. We find a land, we can kill it though. Okay, so I want to kill the Birds of Paradise. That way we can just we also remove a land from there from play, which is important when we are on this lock. That's the way they break the symmetry, so stopping them from having extra mana is important. Okay, they don't have land drop, that's huge. So I could cycle, try to find something. I don't think that's correct. I think we just pass. Next turn we can cycle and kill the Hokori. In like their upkeep, something like that. I think this deck is mostly creatures, so they don't have like protection spells or anything, I believe. So if we can remove the Hokori, then we can start just killing things. Okay, yeah, I'm going to kill that on upkeep. Do we do that? Because if I find a land, we can do more stuff. Well, not really, we don't have anything to do except cycle, so it's not really that much of gain. Just let them resolve their trigger. No, wait, I'm not going to let them resolve the trigger, I'm going to do it now. Nice. So yeah, we drew the land, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty good, I believe. If they found a land, they can play the Yasharn, otherwise they can't. And that was what I wanted them to stop them from doing, basically. Because if they missed a land drop last turn, so if they can resolve the Yasharn this turn, it would be very important. Okay, so here I believe we just start cycling and killing things. Yeah, let's do that. Lightning Rift. Yeah, I believe we just cast that. He can hit us for one more. B2 Gassy. That's 4 mana tap, create a token. That's a cool card. They have wood fixing, then it's correct to play it. This is a basic of each one. So now we can kill that by paying 3 mana basically, and just can play the control. We can play control now. Like cycle this, double shock this. And we can play the Forgotten Cave. Right now we need more lands, we have so much cycling. Okay, that's a nice draw. I'm going to play that. Okay. They drew the 4-5 village. They still have 2 lands extra in their hand, so it's a bit deceptive that they look that they have 6 cards in hand. Actually, they have at least, no, basically 4 non-lands, I believe. I think we know that number. What's this? You and humans you control have hexproof. Oh, okay. We can kill that with Zenith Flare, right? Well, now we can cycle 2 things and just kill this. Kill both of these. So let's do that. So first we cycle, then we kill here. Now we cycle this one, I think. Hit here, because this doesn't have a roof, because it's just a soldier. Nice. We are at a very low life total, but if things get out of hand, we can just play the Smith Flare. I don't think they can deal 8 damage to us. Maybe they can, I don't know. I think they also play like Lair of Subdual, which is like an opposition effect. Okay. Nice. That was very good for us, so let me look at the list. No, it wasn't X. It was a recent 5-0. So I believe that maybe Akroma's Blessing is the worst of the cycling cards here. Okay, this is... Maybe we bring in like Soldering Sons. Shrez Sails doesn't kill the whatever was the creature that they played. If they play Gyarados Dual, we may need to bring this in. Okay, this is taking a long time to find the page. Oh, it's the league's about to end. Interesting. Didn't know that. So I believe we just bring this in exchange for some Akroma's Blessings. I want to know if Light of Hope is good or not. Okay, I'll pause and return when I know. Okay, it looks like the server is down, I believe. So I think we just bring in the Soldering Sons, remove this, maybe bring one Light of Hope of luck, and just call it a day. We don't play Gigantha here, but that's fine. So in this, we seem to be the control deck, so Akroma's, whatever, what's it called? Akroma's what? Blessing is not really that important. So this is a nice aggressive hand and recording rights. Okay. We have this and then 2 cyclers. We have a go for blood if we need a removal. Yeah, I'm going to give. If they start with turn 1 bops, then we are in a bit of trouble. Just hope they don't. Yeah. Oh, nice. That was a great draw. Start with the fox. I don't really understand the flavor of cycling, like why cycling makes the fox bigger, but whatever, I'm not going to complain. Here, in the same spot as the previous game, but the difference now is that he can just attack for 3, so it's a better game plan than just casting Line of Rift and not do anything else. So I believe I'm going to do that now. Just pass, hold the double cycling, build up our graveyard for Zenith Flare, try to find lands for Line of Rift. We could try and deploy Line of Rift and kill Emara next turn, but we have blocker, so they need to have removal. So we don't really need to deploy the Rift here. That would be a bad play in my opinion. Okay. I don't think the attack, they basically have to imagine we have this. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for plots. I always hold red because you may draw a Spark Spray. They need to have something, right? No? Well, maybe they have something post-combat? No, just another MR. That makes sense. Okay, now we can just play the Rift and pass again. We have Light of Hope against any enchantments like the Glare of Subdual, which I believe they play. I tried to look at that, but the page wasn't really responding. And worst come to worst, this can gain life or put a counter. Okay, they reveal up lanes. What's this? As long as you control 3 or more legendary creatures, it becomes a 6/6 with vigilance. You can pay 2 and look at the top 6 and reveal a legendary creature. Okay. And they cast that part, okay. Makes sense. Now they definitely want to attack, of course. That's so rough. I think I hold a shock, basically. It might be useful. We have 3. Rishkar. Okay, I think we respond to the trigger here, depending on where they put their counters. Okay. So yeah, we can just kill this now. It's very, very annoying not having cycling cards now. Wow, they are not activating the how's it called? Colvory. They aren't activating the Colvory. Just hitting for 3, which is fine by us. There is no problem with that. Deck in stone. Sure. We might use that clue. Okay, now this is a better draw. We can start by saving that. Kill a Rishkar. And no. Because we have another planes here. Okay, this doesn't die. So I might just draw with the clue and hold the Light of Hope. Yeah. At this point, I don't think we play the Fox. Now they activate. Interesting. Let's see what Cold War he finds. Nothing. Oh, that's pretty bad. They have a lot of legendary creatures. It's a sweet deck, not gonna lie. I don't really understand the. Like, it looks like they have just. They have good payoffs, but some of the creatures here, like Emara and Rishkar, are kind of. Don't really make a lot of sense to me. It's a 3/5, so if we can cycle then cast Fluttering Suns, that should be enough. Clean up here, then they can play the Reki and then cast something else. It's called Reki, right? Okay. So they can play this, then cast like an Emara or something a bit bigger maybe. And draw a card, but we can still continue just cycling, protecting the board, keeping everything clear. Oh, they are going to sandbag it until they find something to do with that. Makes sense. We just cycle this, hit them in the face. Sons. Okay, I'm going to cycle that end of turn probably. Gavony Township, nice. So they have a bit of counters going around. I don't think they have any payoffs for that, but still pretty cool. I'm going to continue cycling here. This way, okay, now the roof, that's nice. Now I don't think that I even played the Valiant Rescuer. I think I just cycle and kill them. We have the Zenith Flare, we have 2 cyclers, so soon we will be able to just Zenith Flare into Zenith Flare and kill them. Okay, so we have lethal with Zenith Flares, so I'm just going to pass, do that on the end of their turn. We have also 3 cyclers, so that's not enough to kill them, or is it though? We can hit them for 3 with each one. Yeah, maybe we can just cycle 2 and then have Zenith Flares lethal. The problem is if they have something that can exile my graveyard, I want to use it as soon as possible. Exile or non-land permanents that are legendary. Okay, so we just cycle, hit them. Now we have lethal with the Zenith Flares. Well, we have already reality, but that's fine. Just in case. Donk. Yeah, Zenith Flare is pretty busted. Let's see how it goes in the next one. Alrighty, match number 2. We will start Reveal Giganta. See good luck from our opponents. And this hand is a bit crappy. We only have one color and it's a tap land, so we want to mulligan this. This is completely fine. I'm just going to keep and put in the bottom the Chroma's Blessing, I believe. Yeah. I think I'll cycle this first. Of course, play first the mountain. Oops. This is a bit annoying. Okay. They don't have a companion, they start with blue and opt. Sure. So maybe this is like control. Well, it can be anything. Opt is played in a lot of decks, so. Yeah, this is fine to cast. Start putting pressure, they have to kill it, respect it, or they're going to eat a lot of damage. If this is blue-white control, then we want to just play a different kind of deck. Elsewhere Flask. Oh. So this might be the Anvil deck, basically. Or not. Some kind of combo deck. Suranor is interesting, but kind of weird card to play. They want to cycle main phase, try to find a fox. Cycle the healer. Spark Spray. I play the Clifton Repeat so we can cycle the Spark Spray instead. I think I messed up. I should have cycled with the white since we didn't have any other cyclers. That was my mistake, sorry. Oh, maybe this is the deck that sacrifices a lot of things, then bring them back. I think there was a deck like that. So that gains a lot of life with Surnorb. I think I will cycle this. I really need more white. Rescuer is fine. So now I can play Valiant Rescuers and Dual Cycle, which is kind of pretty good. I don't remember exactly how the deck is called, the one that I'm trying to say. It likes put back all the permanents that were put in the graveyard this turn into play or something. Okay, cast this. Cycle a Spark Spray right now. Nice. Now we can just cycle the Forgotten Cave probably. We have other lands now. Yeah, they are going for it. I don't remember exactly the name. Maybe Second Sunrise was the card. So if that's the card, then Southern Orb is pretty good with that. Yeah, they are going off this turn. It basically generates mana for them, which is pretty strong. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. So these are all planes. Okay. So they are going to get back all of this, but they should have just sacrificed lands here to gain life, so they can get them back for free. They enter and tap, so this even generates mana, so I think they messed up there. It's still pretty good, but if they sacrifice all of this again, 6 life and 3 mana for free, basically helping them a lot trying to combo off. And we need to find zenith flares pretty soon, so we can start presenting lethal here. We are hitting for 11 plus 5. Sorry, they are at 11 minus 5, 6 minus 2, 4. So we are pretty close though. Let's see, secluded step. Start with this, I believe. We can find a zenith flare right now. If not, we need to cycle like 4 cards, I believe. I mean 4. Yeah. So 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So we have lethal. I believe so, right? Oh, they can sacrifice lands. Yeah. Should we force them to sacrifice land now? I think we do. So they can't really get them back with second sunrise if they have that. They don't have mana to sacrifice this thing either, so yeah, let's just start cycling now. We already played the land. Yeah, let's cycle the land here. They need to respond now or they die, basically. yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see. Now we can just pass, create another token. If they have another second sunrise, then they might be able to go off if they remember to sacrifice the land for Suranor. Yeah, that's very busted. I might be inclined to play this deck. Looks pretty fun. I don't know if they have tutors for second sunrise. Okay, Thoughtcast is cool too. Yeah, I like this deck, honestly. Their deck looks pretty cool. Oh, I think they messed up, maybe? Yeah, maybe they messed up. Okay, so Dobby looks pretty good against them, so does Nihil Spellbomb, and Shred Sails look okay. Looks better than Sniffer for sure. Sorry, that Akroma's Blessing for sure. And probably remove a couple of Lightning Rifts. We don't need the board control. And probably some like Go for Blast or whatever. Yeah. Some Cyclers. I think I like the Valiant Rescuer in this matchup. They don't seem to have any interaction. They might have Rats post board. Something like that, I guess. Might be a bit too much, but remember that Shredded Sails can cycle too. And we might need to be able to remove a key artifact. Okay, we have some utility here. We can start with the cave and play a Drying Stinger on turn 2, which was pretty good in the first one, since they didn't have any interactions for it. Suranor, yep. We might need to remove that. Hit Probe. White. Demoliant. Oh, Demoliant to 6 only. Oh, but Suranor, yeah. Makes sense. Yep, now play the forgotten K probably, unless we draw something else. No. Okay. Okay, now we can just turn to play the Stinger. Maybe just blow up the orb in case they have second sunrise. I mean, it's the correct thing to do. They didn't use it the first one, but I believe it's the correct thing to do. Because if they have second sunrise, they can generate mana and basically storm off with that Suren Orb. Okay. Now we can start deploying. Probably just the Valiant Rescuer. So this way we can start hitting them for 4 next turn, then play the Stinger and continue hitting them. Ghost Quarter, cool. Oh, they have fixing with the Golden Egg and such. Nice. Yeah, their deck looks pretty cool. They target here, yeah, we just cycle this. That's fine, we may need to deploy that instead. You only have 1 card in hand. But yeah, I want to start cycling here. Because I have 3 Zenith Flares in hand, so we can start using those. Yeah, and to cycle that on their turn. Create another token. Unless they Wrath or something. Sword Flask. Last card in hand, so if they find the second sunrise, Raven form. What? There has to be a better removal spell, right? Looks kind of weird. But it removes, so it's 1 less card for Zenith Flare. So we have 2 options this turn. We can deploy the Nihil Spellbomb and like bring Jegantha to our hand. Or Zenith Flare end of turn, Zenith Flare. Well, they have a Suren Orb, so I think we need to do this. This deck could play like Archon's Astrolabe for the Spellbomb and maybe other off-color cycling cards like Easy Prey or Boon of the Wishgiver, things like that. But that may dilute the deck so much, maybe it doesn't make that much sense. The problem with this deck, they are playing Second Sunrise, is that we can basically counter their card by just using the Nihil Spellbomb. Looks like they are going for it, but we are going to nuke them. They shouldn't do this, they are going to be blown away. Unless they have like some way of countering that. Yep. Yeah, that wasn't a great idea. Poor opponent. Let's go to the next one, shall we? Alright, match number 3 against Sandor. This hand is fine. We can start with the Fox, then have Fixing, play maybe the Rescuer or Cycle. Yeah, like this. Yep. So, the thing is, if I go in curve, Flourish Fox into Valiant Rescuer, then we aren't cycling anything for even either of these, so they can remove them easily. Depends on what they play mostly, but oh, they're playing 263 cards, so they are playing like Battle of Wits. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, just going to go as fast as possible, put as much pressure into play as I can. What's that? Oh, interesting. Okay. So I can attack if they block with double cycle, otherwise we just play the Valiant Rescuer. Now next turn we start cycling. We can hold the Chroma's Blessing 2 if we need to. Vivid Meadow. So yeah, this deck normally plays like a 3-color deck, splashing like several things. I think that is kind of weird. Okay. So I say we start cycling things. Yeah. Start with the Forgotten Cave. Yeah. And we can cycle one more now. Let's just attack. They might have Condemn. Okay. Yeah, let's just pass. We're going to save the Chroma's Blessing for now. Maybe. Maybe not. We can cycle Forgotten Cave. No, I think we cycled these two, so we can go for blood anything they play now. Okay. Yeah, this costs one less, so they forgot about that. So this is 1 damage each turn. That's annoying. We can save our creatures with the Chroma's Blessing. I'm going to take it. I could trade with 2 soldiers, but I prefer to not to do that. Just put more pressure. Yeah, let's cycle this. I don't think I care that much about this card. It's useful for them, but not that important in my opinion. So how much? We have this for 3. This is 4, 7, 9. I think we just cycle for 1 and hold the Chroma's Blessing to save the Valiant Rescuer, or we don't do that. Now we just cast this, I think. Yeah. We cast another one and double cycle. I should have done that before, but just hope it doesn't really matter. to my face. What? Why? That's weird. I'm really scared right now because them going face doesn't make a lot of sense. They didn't sack the bowling wells either. Yeah. Okay. That was weird. So they are clearly an enchantment deck, so Light of Hope looks very good. Dobbin stops enchantments? No, doesn't stop enchantments. So yeah, maybe these two and like remove Spark Spray. No, I think it's important. Maybe Drained Healer. Just go like this. Or maybe, I mean, I like all of this. Yeah, Chroma's Blessing. If they have rats, they are going to be white rats. Yeah, let's go like this. Okay, this is okay. I'm going to keep, probably cycle turn 1 the full crater. Yeah, there are 5 colors, it looks like. They probably play like Battle of Wits and they have some enchantments, what's it called? Some enchantments, some tutors for enchantments. The problem is that playing against this deck, you need to play against so many axes. Like they can just play Valiant Rescuer and go wide. You can play Flourishing Fox and go tall. You can play just cycling and then hitting them with Zenith Flare. So basically, this deck uses all the resources all the time, so it's very difficult to play against. So game 2, normally you face more removal spells and such. So maybe I just go for Flourishing Fox, hold Spark Spray. Cycle the Forgotten Cave or go for Blood, depending on what they play. And next turn we can Valiant Rescuer and extract value from it no matter what. They're playing just Taplands there. Edge of Autumn, okay. Yeah, they have all colors. I don't remember if Ring to Light is legal, so if that's legal, they can go fetch the Battle of Wits and just win. So we need to find our Light of Hope ASAP. Here, yeah, I think I'll just attack for 2 and play the Rescuer. Maybe it was correct to play it before and cycle once, that was 1 more damage, but plays worse against other plays and we can hold Spark Spray now. If they just go for Tutor and play the Battle Wits, then we are in big trouble. But at least we have a lot of looks towards the Light of Hope. Tabland, that's really important. Yes, I accept. Oh, this is the other shrine. Oh. and they discard the other shrine. Interesting. So we will cycle Spark Spray. Okay, land is fine. We have now 4 lands for Zenith Flare. Oh, Lightning Rift is pretty good. So now I think I'll just play the Lightning Rift, cycle like go for black, and shoot our opponent. Hit them for 5. And now we have, again, we are attacking on several axes. We have 3 payoffs. We have the Flourishing Fox, the Lightning Rift, and the Zenith Flare. So our opponent can't maybe protect themselves from tokens with this Sanctum, but they need to find a way of answering this Lightning Rift and not die to this. I could guess they are playing some form of tutor for enchantments that finds Battle of Wits, and they try to win with that. Hopefully they don't have it. Oh, Mastermind's Acquisition. That's a cool tutor. I think this is a bit slow. They're going to probably find the Battle of Wits, but we have 5, 6, plus 6 damage. So if they don't interact with us, we just win. It's a bit sad because I wanted to see what their deck was about. We saw some Sanctums which are pretty useful for generating value over time, but yeah, this deck is very difficult to interact, honestly. This is what makes it a very good deck. Okay, so I think I'll just attack. They might have a fog, or they might just try to kill the token. If we hit them for 5, that's just enough. So we don't need to do anything. Okay. Nice. Now it's cycle and don't pay. Donk. Nice. Let's go to the next one. Already match number, I don't know, I want to say 4. I don't remember. Let's rearrange again. Be on the draw. This hand is a bit slow. We can do better, though, right? Next, we start with Rooftop Retreat. We play at turn 2 on the draw, Crushing Fox. I don't know. This is very slow. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan. We need some untapped lands. But this is better. Just keep this. Shift the step, I think. Glacial Floodplain. So this might be blue-white control or blue-white wave, which might be a bit of a rough matchup for us. They have a lot of removal, they have maybe Oblivion Rings, they have some combo potential. Okay. They didn't mulligan, so... Oh, Esper. So maybe it's Esper Hero? Or 5 colors? Yeah, it looks like 5 colors. Okay, that's a great start for them. Since we don't have anything, I will play the Tranith Healer, I think. It may trade with a removal spell. That's fine. Okay. I think I'll just play a land and just attack and pass. Or... I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. Just pass, cycle a couple of times. So we can hold the Spark Spray if we need to. Scour, okay. Interesting. Fjord, okay, of course. Start cycling the Spark Spray. And the Crater. And let's just attack here. Then I'm going to cast the Stinger and cycle the Chroma's Blessing. Probably now, so we might find an unsub source. We don't, but we still find something. They're not playing anything, that's interesting. I'm going to play the land and start cycling things. I'm recording, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to probably just cycle the Forgotten Cave, then put this on my hand if we don't draw anything. That's why I play the planes. We had a play. We always had a play, so that was fine. And I cycle main phase because they might have removal, so I want to first cycle and draw my cards before I make them use the removal. Interesting. Yeah, I think right now I'm going to just attack. What's this? Starstorm, okay. Start. Let's continue cycling now. And if we don't draw anything, ooh, this is so good. Let's cast this. Protection from red. Yeah, that was a great draw. So they seem to be E-set splashing white and black. which is definitely an interesting thing to build. Terminate. All this healer. Oh, they might have another removal spell. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Start with this, I think. Let's put this in our hand. I'll probably just play this step. No, just pass. You can counter this, that's fine. Just very, it's just very free for us to play the Giganta here. Oh, sure. Okay, wherever they play our land, so I'm just going to pass now. I'm going to cycle the step because we can give the Giganta trample if we need to. So yeah, if we had played this step before, we would have been able to give it haste, which would have been big game, but yeah, they might have just like that Vindicate here there or something like that. Let that resolve. Okay, now we can start cycling, trying to find another payoff. Ooh, that's cool. So what do we do? I think we just pass and do everything on their end step. If they tap out here, they are dead. We are not in a rush now that we found our Zenith Flare. Okay, let's play this. Bait counterspell. Sure. Play this. Oh, I should have. That was a mistake. We don't have enough to cast the Zenith Flare. Oh my god. That was a very big misplay. Oh my god. That was very, very bad. I would have. Yeah. That was awful. Sorry guys, that was such a mistake. That might be the game, really, there. Just tapping out of Zenith Flare. That was a big mistake. Also, we used all of our other cards, so now we don't have anything to bait the counterspell. I don't know how they win now, but if they cannot answer all of our threats, then they might find a way of winning from there. So they seem to be non-green. Destroy target element. Sure. Remember that they have Arcanus Astral Egg, so they have double blue. So that means that if they found a counterspell, they might have it. Yeah. So now that we have two Zenith Flares, I'm going to just start passing. I know that we have here an out because they are a bit tapped out. but honestly they might have a counterspell, and using the Synth Flare there doesn't do anything, so sure. They go to discard. They discard Blues on Zenith. Interesting. Now I want to find another land so we can play Zenith, 2 Zenith Flares and end step. Sure. They have all the card draws, interesting. I wonder how they win, right? Oh, Nefali Drown Yard. Drown Yard. It's fine. Okay, yeah. Now we have to play like they have 3 counter spells in their hand, at least. And we want to hold the Zenith Flares so we can we don't let them tap out anymore, basically. Okay, they found the second Drown Yard. That's a fine draw. Yeah, that play I made was very bad. I think we just won there. If I play correctly, I miscounted the mana. Yeah, here it can't be 2 counter spells, so I'm going to pass. Play a swamp. I'm going to remove these to make more space. Okay, we already used 3 Lightning Rifts, so there's no need for us to try and find another one. And there they mill the other one, so we don't have that out. Sure. Okay, we still have the other Zenith Flare in our deck. Mill us, sure. Okay. And I'm going to start doing Zenith Flares, I think. They can mill us for 6. Now we have another turn, but I'm not going to cycle the Chroma's Blessing. Okay. Now we pass. The other win condition they have is to firewall us with the plus on Zenith. So if they do that, then they need to also hold another more mana for the counter spell. counter, 2 counter, 3 counters. So they have enough. But I'm going to make them use it. Remember to put a stop in your upkeep. They know what we have in hand. So they might know that we just lose here. So they have one more counterspell. Let's see if they drew it. If they have Mana Leak, this is the same thing because we have the other Safe Flame in their hand. Fits like a Spur Charm. Oh, ooh, that was close. Okay. Nice. Oh my god, we won. That was incredible. Let's see. Oh, they can't target us to draw cards. So yeah, that was very close. If this was, oh sorry, if this Spell Charm was target player draws 2 cards, then you would be able to just kill me there. But that was lucky. Okay, so basically 4 colors, no control. Dogging looks fine. I don't like any of these. What can they bring against us? Check real quick. No, this is not good. This guy is called. Okay. Let's see if they have it. Yeah, this looks like it. Yeah, this looks like the deck. Intervention. Jace. Okay, that's fine. Spell Pierce, Negate, Pyroclasm, Terminate, Electrolyze, more Spell Charms, more Ego. Yeah, all these cards are good against us, so I'm not really sure what they are going to bring against us. I will probably just remove the Spark Spray. They don't have any creatures, right? No. Okay. So let's just bring this in, remove the Spark Sprays, I think. That way we can go like wide with creatures and then protect with Akroma's Blessing if we need to, and we have Dovin as a way of make them use more mana each turn. Because if we constrain them on their mana, we can try to resolve more things. So they have Vindicates against our enchantments, and Esper Charm also destroys enchantments. So they have... yeah, they have a lot of answers to enchantments in particular. Against creatures, they have Terminates and such. Against other things, they have just counterspells. So we need to, I think, get in the board quickly. So I'm going to mulligan for that. The way the game went was that removal wasn't really that good, but it was necessary. So I believe that they are going to have removal, but not overloading removal. And they are going to have like more expensive answers to our enchantments and such. So I want to get on the board early, try to overload the removal, while we try to build towards a big Zenith Flare. And just have the 4 mana open when it's lethal and they can't do anything. And they can't tap out to draw cards because they lose. That's basically my idea. Gigantha. This is kind of slow. I I think I'll mulligan this, honestly. We have Valiant Rescuer, but we can't deploy it until turn 3, so that's very slow. Here, it's similar, but I re-mulligan too. And I don't think I want to put a Synth Flare on the bottom, but maybe we need to with this hand. Yeah, I think we need to. Remember that we have a Synth Flare in the bottom, and we know that. What's this? Oh, cool, the old art. I really like this. So that fetches Swamp or Mountain. Okay. So they can go fetch a basic or a snow top land. In that case, I wouldn't go for doing that on upkeep unless I'm super flooded, so they might be flooded. Here I will need to cycle. Oh, okay, that's fine. Just cast this. They might have another Spike Field Hazard, but not much we can do against that. Yeah, Blue Chip Thirst, that's fine. Sulfur Falls. Okay. We have counter open now. So I think this is the turn we just cycle. We find our lands. This spot, yeah, this Go for Blood is pretty bad. Go. Yeah, if we fall behind all lands, then we are in a bit of trouble. Vindicate. Oh, that's rough. Yeah. We'll go for them. Probably just Go for Blood. Pass. They have another Vindicate, they might have us. But remember that they are a slow deck, so we might be able to just power through this. Here I'm just going to cast a healer, I think. It puts pressure even though it doesn't look like it. And they have to answer everything because they don't have blockers. And if they have to use a counterspell here, we are golden. Send it for 2, okay. Next turn we can just continue cycling. Okay, it's fine. Brown Yard, okay. Now I want to start casting things, but I need to draw cards. I need to find lands. This is so rough. Okay, nice. And I think I just pass. No need to cycle now. I have Nihil Spellbomb as hate. Okay. How many do they have of those? They have 2 Into the Stories, 2 Treasure Cruise, and 1 Blue Sun Zenith. Okay. Spellbomb. Okay. I might use it now. Yeah, probably if they had to. It would make sense to use now that. Okay, that makes our Synth Flares a bit worse, to be honest. Here I'll play the Valiant Rescuer and cycle something. Do I want to play the Forgotten Cave? I think I do. Just pass. We can cycle the Crater. Okay, they are going to end of turn crack the Spellbomb, I guess. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Now end of turn, just cycle the Crater. Okay, nice. Now we can try to resolve a Lightning Rift. Let's just do that. Attack. Make them use their removal spell. If they don't, we can just start playing Lightning Rifts. They have to answer this. Okay. Nice. They might have an Esper Charm. Looks like, at least for now, they don't. I think I'll cycle, go for Blood or something end of turn just to make another token. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Glacial Fortress. Now I probably just hold the Smith Flare in case they crack the spell bomb. We enter this kind of game of chicken where you either crack the spell bomb or not. That's not bad. I have enough to play this and cycle. I'm going to do that, I think. Nice, nice. And I think at this point I prefer the Stinger. Oh, I should have played the Fox so I could shoot them with the Rift. It's kind of the same thing though. Mill Ass. Mill Ass more. That's fine by me. Okay, they are going aggressive on the milling plan. Thirst. I need to cycle now. Nah, I can. No, yeah, I want to cycle now because I have Smith Flare. Yep. Loop, loop, loop. No. Let's just yield everything here. Weird that they use the Thirst on the Stinger instead of the Rescuer. Maybe they kill Wrath? That could make sense. They crack now. Interesting. They have another one? Probably, right? Treasure Cruise. They're drawing some amount of cards, huh? Let's see. Hazard there, that's annoying. We still have something to do though. Dobby Ban? Sure. That dies though. Yeah, that dies. Let's start cycling now, I think. I think I cycle now. Okay, I could play next turn, maybe. It's a bit late for that, but still. Five mana, Chase. Okay, they can mill us for 10 and 3. That's a quick lock, but we have the Zenith Flares if they do that. Okay, they just mill us for 1, that makes sense. Sure. Okay, we have 3 and 3, 6, so we don't have lethal. I think I just play this first. Since we can't kill this, I'll just attack them. Who doesn't need flare? Because if they mill us end of turn, we can just kill them. So it's not advisable to do so. Is this a terminate? Sure it is. Okay. So we hit them for 2, pass the turn. We could bring Gigantha to our hand, but right now it's a bit slow. Okay, we have the stop on our end step, so if they mill 2, yep, that's lethal. Awesome. As I said, playing against this deck is a nightmare. Nice. Is this our last match? I don't remember now. Oops, sorry about that. And no, we are 4-0, so let's go to the next one. Okay, we're in the finals against /E. Say goodbye. We are on the draw again, but we have Gigantha to our side, so we are in a good spot. This guy is a bit meh, but we have the Valiant Rescuer and Sinflare, which are 2 payoffs. We have Cycling, we have Lands, okay. We're on the draw too, so if we have more draws to find our red. Also, we don't really need our red, at least right now. Temple of Plenty. That probably means the same deck we played the other match. How's it called? The Legendaries kind of deck. Okay, Linking Rift is another nice draw. We can't cast it yet, but it was pretty important against that deck when we played against it. If that's the deck we're playing against, we really don't know. So let's see how it goes. Now I'm going to cycle something, probably just a Footfall Crater. Okay, they don't play anything, that's good news. Chroma's Blessing is fine. Another Chroma's Blessing. I think I'll just... I don't think Celestia plays a lot of... how's it called? A lot of removal spells, especially not instant speed. So I'm going to play the Valiant Rescuer. If they want to use their whole turn exiling it or removing it somehow, then they can be my guess. Nothing, not even cycling a land or something. Okay, that's good news. Killed an outpost. Okay. Make a token. Oh, that's annoying. Now we can play like Drannith Healer and then cycle, but not really a necessary thing to do. Start with this. Yeah. I think I'll just deploy the Lightning Rift here and pass. They can continue making tokens if they want. It's a win condition, it's a really good card, but we also are making tokens so we can start removing them. So if they don't put a token, we can just remove the token that there is on board and start attacking. Nice, that's a good draw. So we play this and we cycle. We can either cycle 2 things, so you can remove both soldiers, or we can start growing our fox. I think we are going to grow the fox. Cycle the Go for Blood, doesn't really do much here. And shoot the soldier. Trigger. And play with red, so we can cycle the Chroma's Blessing. Valiant Rescuer, that's okay. We are going to attack with the soldier. If they want to trade tokens, that's fine by us. No, they don't want to. Okay. We will probably cycle end of turn, but okay. Depends, of course, depends. If we want to shoot multiple things next turn, we might need to save our cyclers, but I want to grow our Saint Flare, so let's see what they do now. If they don't... Okay, they are just playing Balaguet. They seem to be like a grindy deck, but not the legendary deck. Yeah, cycle this. This doesn't matter. We can't pay for it, but we get the token, we get the +1/+1. So here we could attack with everything, then use Akroma's Blessing to kill their tokens, but that looks a bit slow and bad. I think I prefer to just play the Rescuer cycle. That looks fun. They might have a Wrath, right? If they are playing Balaguet and Geodron Outpost, they probably are a grindy deck of sorts. So maybe I don't cycle now. No, I think we do. I think we do that and shoot their face. Now I'm going to attack with everything except the 3 ones. Again, if they want to trade tokens, that's fine by me. They don't want even Chum Block. Interesting. I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe it's a tokens deck? Maybe it's a tokens deck and they want to maybe deploy something with Convoke? I'm not really sure. We're putting a lot of pressure in the board, so if they don't have a Wrath of some kind, then they are going to be in a really, really bad spot here. Yeah, they are a tokens deck. Okay. It's fine. We can probably just give our creatures protection from white and attack. That's lethal. Yeah, that's lethal. Doom Traveler, okay. Nothing else? They can attack if they want, I'm not going to block, I don't care. Cycle this. Trigger, trigger, trigger. No. This is so much more than lethal. Let's play this, just in case. Pro white, attack for billions. Now, this Akroma's Blessing has been pretty good, I'm gonna say. What's this? Scatter the Seeds, 3 Saplings. Yeah, that's good. So they are not dead. Okay. Let's see, they can block the Valiant Rescuers. I can just shoot one of these now. That way they can't jump block the Flourishing Fox. So I think it's a good play. Yep, that's fine, we can cycle that. So now they can block, they need to jump block the Flourishing Fox. Oh, they forgot to block, okay. So what they could do is jump block here, and that's 10. Yeah, so they weren't able to... I didn't do the math, honestly. Sure, let's go to the second game here. Okay, so they are a tokens deck, so Sheltering Suns looks very good. Light of Hope looks important too. They have the thing that gives tokens +1/+1. We lose Shigantha, but that's okay. Spark Spray looks good. I think we remove Footfall Crater. It gives Trample to our foxes. Maybe go for Bloody Wars, like something like this, because giving Trample to one of our foxes can be important. We also have a Chroma's Blessing to attack through blockers. Otherwise we could not play the healers, but if we are on the draw we might need to have some amount of blockers and all that if they start faster than they started now, the first one. Okay, this has pieces. I think we can keep this. Spark Spray is important too. Okay, in our temple, they seem to be a bit slow to be a really aggressive deck. Okay, they start with 6. Okay, so they scry 1 to the top, but they thought about it. So now the Spark Spray can come in handy if we need to remove like a 1/1 or something. That's not a 1/1, that's just a token. Okay, that's annoying. Just cycle the Crater. Clifftop Retreat is good. We can start with Fox. We have another one, so just starting with this, cycle the Spray probably, because I think we will end up playing these healers. They block 1/1s pretty fine. They gain life. Virtue. Okay, that's annoying. They have 4/4 turn 3. It's pretty good stats. We need to grow our Fox. Yeah, the Spark Spray doesn't do much here. Okay, I think we play the Fox. And cycle, that's 4/4 here, 3/3 here. That's like a fine play. Yeah, just pass because we will block, I think. Or maybe we don't. No, I don't think we will. I think we just cycle, row our dorks, take 4, but we start hitting them for like 7 or something. Yeah. Now if they attack, we only trade that token with one of our foxes. So maybe we just do that trade, I think. Yeah, now I will, because they have 2 intangible virtues, so that's very big. I think we cycle this now. I expect them not to have a combat trick. Looks like they don't. Nice, awesome. Now we can start doing things. Probably just play the Lightning Rift. The problem is they have 2 of these, so but that's fine. Just deploy things now, I think. No, okay. Play this. Next turn we can continue second things. Start turning the corner now. Ooh, that's a good draw, but we can't cycle Pepe. I think we just attack first, see if they have like a thing that puts tokens. What's it called? Yeah, raise alarm. And we Can we kill? We can kill one before they block. So I'm just going to let them block. They can double block the fox or block. Destroy that and populate. Okay, that's annoying. And I will shoot one of these. Okay, just always heal to this, always heal to this, pay for this, yes. Draw the card. Do the same thing with this one. Now they can double block or block. Okay, that's fine. We lose the fox, but we don't lose everything at least. And in this position, well, it's the same thing. We can just wait on the Chroma's Blessing. We have 8 cards, so we are not that far away from killing them. Okay, this puts them at 11, this goes to 10, so if we draw another 1 mana segment, we just kill them, if they don't have an answer to this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. On their upkeep, I guess. I'm not sure what they can do, but I'm going to do it on upkeep, just in case. Okay, nice. So we won like very easily, right? Yeah, we didn't drop game. That's incredible. Yeah, look at this. This is awesome. Of course, the pairings were very in our favor because we had a opponent match win like very low. So it means that they didn't do that well in their respective leagues. But not dropping a single game, that's pretty strong, honestly. So yeah, this deck is nuts. This deck is very, very good. So what makes this deck good is that, let me watch. Okay. So what makes this deck good is that you have so many different angles of attack. You have the Flourishing Fox, which go tall. You have the Valiant Rescuer, which goes wide. You have like Stinger, which it's annoying because it kills your opponent very slowly. You have the Healers, which can be useful against aggro, and the creatures themselves are really low. It's not a high, like you're not paying anything to put this in your deck. It's just a 1-mana cycler. So a 1-mana cycler on its own, you would play this in this deck. For example, the Footfall Crater, we didn't ever cast it and didn't even consider casting it, and was still strong in our deck because we need to have these 1-mana cyclers. So like Dragon Stinker, Healer, and Fox are strong cards. So that makes that all of your creatures, like they cycle, so they are never dead. They are always good. The turn 1 Flourishing Fox can win games, turn 2 Valiant Rescuer can win games, and also the other payoffs are Lightning Rift, which is very difficult to interact because it's an enchantment and can provide board control and win condition, and the Smith Fair, which is an instant and uses your graveyard. So you use your graveyard for Smith Flare, you use enchantments in Lightning Rift, you use creatures that go tall in Flourishing Fox, creatures that go wide in Valiant Rescuer, you use combat damage and non-combat damage in Dragon Stinger, and you can protect your creatures with the random Chroma's Blessing, which ended up being pretty good. I was very impressed with this card. I think it's a mistake to play another creature, the Impulsive Mantasaur, or whatever the name it is. This is very, very strong. It saved our creatures from wrath once, and then it provided us a way of just giving evasion to all of our creatures and attack for lethal. So it goes very well with the Valiant Rescuer and it's 2 for 2 plan. And then like Spark Spray can also be randomly good, and Go for Blood can be randomly good. So there are a lot of utility. There isn't the cards. You have like 8 cycling lands, so you never float. So the deck is very, very consistent, very strong, and it attacks in so many angles that it's really difficult to play against. And importantly, also in the sideboard, I think the deck is stronger even because you have like a lot of disenchants. You have Dobbin, which can be pretty good against some decks. You have Nihil Spellbomb to just stop your opponent from comboing. So in the end, I think this deck is probably tier 1 in the meta, and I was really happy with it. So yeah, that's basically for me. And thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.